finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Here's Cousins. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake.
You know, last season, DeMarcus Cousins had several triple-doubles, but with Cousins, he would have 20-plus rebounds and go along with 20 points and 10 assists. That's amazing for a big man, for any man, as a matter of fact.
First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Barton gets to McGee, and he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Over to the left wing. Here's McCollum. The kick out to Collison. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Cousins. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
DeMarcus Cousins can really be unstoppable at times on offense. He's shown star qualities ever since he stepped into the NBA. But it wasn't until last season that he was voted to the All-Star game.
And back to Cousins last year. He was the first Sacramento King to appear in an All-Star game, which is hard to believe in over a decade. That is a long stretch, a long drought.
I'll tell you what, no question he's been doing a lot of heavy lifting here early in his career. But I tell you what, you surround him with some sick talent, and you see rings in this young man's future.
My, oh my, did he ever flush that one hard?
Making a statement, you're right.
I tell you what, he took that personal, didn't he?
Now, here's Collison. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. And Cousins throws it down.
Excellent feed from D.C., Darren Collison.
Out to the wing. Jackson setting the pick here for Barnes. He dishes it to Jackson. McGee, the pass to Love. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
And Cousins throws it down.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Yeah, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
They set the pick. Collison dishes to Fry. The kick out to Collison. Ariza outside. Cousins, the pass to McCollum. The drive by Cousins. Goes back up. The shot's good. Collison making the play. And it's 8 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Well, we know until last season the Heat had been the kings of the Southeast Division. They won 4 straight division titles. But all of that changed last season.
So for the Wizards, their last game a loss to the Pelicans. And Fry kicks to Collison. Feeds it to McCollum. Good ball movement here by Miami. No good from Fry.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Elbow shot is on the way. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Love's got his second basket.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number 1 right now. Nothing easy on the inside. Hey, guys, C.J. McCollum is a scoring-minded combo guard out of Lehigh. He's taken with the 10th pick back in 2013 and still looking to make a big impact in the NBA.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Bertans checked in for JaVale McGee. Young comes in for Kevin Love. Harris is checked in for Barton. And it's Austin Rivers in for Jackson. Wesley Johnson's checked in for the Heat. And it's Harris off the drive. Fires the three. Cannot hit. And it's Miami the other way. Well, McCollum has struggled with injury. He's broken a bone in each of the last 3 seasons, dating back to college at Lehigh.
Yeah, and if he can stay healthy, I think he's got a bright future. He had a broken finger last season, and he broke his foot twice in the seasons prior, Kevin, just to embellish the injury situation. But he's got some ability.
Gortat. Soft touch off the glass.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
Here's Cousins. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
No way to mess that one up, Kevin. I mean, he powered it down with both hands.
Not this guy. He is a superb finisher.
And when he gets near the hoop, guys, he is a tour de force.
Offensive rebound. Gortat misses. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Cousins dishes to McCollum. The feed to Ariza. Kicks it to Cousins. Young with the steal. Oh, and here comes Barnes all alone.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
They better not. I mean, they've got to pad their lead anytime an opportunity presents itself, and that was a golden one.
Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Wizards lead by 6. We'll be back shortly live from the Verizon Center.
Get ready to go, Wizard Girls!
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Wizards.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So the Wizards 5 right now. Young is up there with Will Barton. Then it's Gary Neal. Then there's Reggie Jackson. And it's Gortat in at the front. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Shot clock at 3. Robinson. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
Yeah, so much emotion is going to go through his head tonight in this one. I mean, playing in your hometown can be a bit of a nerve-wracking experience. But after that initial few possessions, I guarantee you he'll settle in and play how he normally does. So he'll be noticing the cheering section of his friends and family that'll be going crazy with each score.
Well, looking at the Wizards, they weren't as lauded as other teams last season, but the Wizards were a ferocious group on defense. Numbers support that. Their activity, Greg, could really bother teams.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface, oftentimes people look at them and think offense, but it really was, to your point, Kevin, the defense was the strength of that group. I mean, they do get out in transition, but it was the defense, I thought, that really allowed them to become elite.
And Washington making a change here. Love's checked in. And Miami with a change here, too. Simmons is checked in. Washington leading now by 3. It's a pick by Love. Out to the right wing. Back to Jackson. This one for 3. Love, no luck.
mentioned the Wizards and their defense last year. They had the second-best field goal percentage defense in the league. The only team that was better, the NBA champs, Golden State. Well, I'm impressed with the determination he showed right there, getting himself in a good position under the glass. Did his work early there.
Yeah, with the presence of mind, you know just where the rebound was going to go to.
And then also just the niftiness with that tip in, just a quick touch, again, before the defense knows what hit him.
Gortat wide open. He fires. That's in there. Love with the assist.
And guys, more on that Wizards defense last year. They clogged up the middle well. Third best in the league in points in the paint allowed. They also were great at stopping fast break points. Top 10 in the league in that regard. And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Augustine, no luck. Wizards leading by 3. On the path to Barton. It's a pick by Love. Neal. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. JaVale McGee's checked in for Gortat. Harrison Barnes comes in for Barton. Gary Harris is checked in for Gary Neal. And it's Rivers in for Jackson. And here is Waiters. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. In Miami, DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Robinson. Fry comes in for Wesley Johnson. McCollum's checked in for Waiters. And it's Collison in for Augustine. Barnes passes to Harris. There's the pick. And stolen by Fry. Now McCollum. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Collison against Rivers. And stolen by Barnes. Oh, he misses the dunk. A nice bounce-back year for Harrison Barnes, Clark, in year 3. Moved into the starting lineup last year and really responded.
Yeah, he did. I think he benefited from the new system. He was miscast as an isolation scorer, but when he can spot up for threes and catch the ball on the move, that's his game.
And Cousins kicks to Fry. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Harrison Barnes, very athletic. He certainly passes the eye test. And with his size, he can punish smaller wings and create mismatches. And then also he can play some small ball power forward at times as well with the way they like to space the floor.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
And you talk about Harrison Barnes overall. He had a nice uptick in his rebounding last year, and that was a goal of his. He wanted to get his activity level up. And oftentimes the difference between being good and great is just making those small incremental improvements in different facets of your game.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Young comes in for Kevin Love. And Harkless is subbed in for Barnes. Here's Young. And the rejection by Cousins. Reggie Jackson's checked in for Austin Rivers. 1:27 left now here in the second. Jackson against Collison. McCollum dishes to Cousins. Pass to Simmons. Lock at 6. Collison kicks to McCollum. Stolen by McGee. Left side Jackson. And stolen by Cousins.